5 or 6 right now of staying away from people, which means Dean is out. And then my vice president and Ashley, they're both in Okoboji for some winter games of some sort. So when you leave the sanctuary today, make sure your offering gets put in the offering tray this morning, and we will make sure that gets counted. And for those of you watching live stream, if you want an annual report, I suggest you call the office and let us know, and we'll get one sent out to you. Are there any other announcements to lift up this morning? Then I'm going to call this annual meeting to order, and we need a quorum, which is 30 or 15% of the voting members. Can you calculate that formula, Dan? We've got about 24 in the sanctuary right now. Quorum is 30.
I get 27.
We got what?
I get 27.
27? I'm not a voting member.
Nope. It's 25 actually.
Now I get 26.
117 is our actual membership. The only thing that would happen today is if we can't vote on anything, but my opinion is, this is just your pastor, we vote and do whoever's here. And I'm going to need somebody from the congregation to propose that. I'm going to wait till you get that number for us, Dan. 117, and it's 15% of that. That's what you're not final on state.
We get a count of 20.
We need a total of 18 if we go with 15% of the members, which means we have a quorum established according to your bylaws. All right. Let us turn our attention to why we're here to worship our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And for all who are able to please stand and join me in our call to worship. It's going to kind of go back and forth with worship and your annual meeting. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me, uttering slanders against me, my adversaries invited Paula Webb to lead us in the community in an impromptu gathering where she spoke about discipleship and community. I have maintained our coffee hours on the second and fourth Thursdays a month, with anywhere of 2 to 6 joining each time. These coffees help us to be seen in the community, and it is a laid-back time with each other and community members. I have been in conversation with United Methodist Church about sharing space at our church building, and I continue to enjoy being at the home volleyball and basketball games, along with being involved with PEO, the Iowa Conference Board, and association commitments. And I continue to give of myself at local, community, and wider church events. Being the pastor of 2 congregations is unique and exhilarating, and I find myself at home with both and especially love living in the country. I am thankful and blessed by God's call to ministry and to both of your congregations. I believe both congregations are doing well, yet also have their own unique qualities, which is to say both are normal. Thank you for calling me and helping me identify how magnificent the call to ministry is. We have much continued work to look to in 2023, like figuring out a mission trip, sending kids to summer camp, working together in the community, and sharing God's message of love and forgiveness. And I look forward to seeing this come to fruition as we walk together. Dixie Bell. Are there any questions on these reports? We'll come to the budget here in just a second. That'll be after a few things. One of the things that I want to lift up is we took the names out of Nora and I decided to take the names out of the annual report. So if you look at last year's, you have names. This year we took them out because what's happening is those names aren't lining up with the actual number of the membership. We ended last year with 123. We had 6 deaths, which gives us 117 active members. Somehow or another, the leadership and I, or anybody out there wants to work with me to go through that list and see, and go through the book to see who is actually still on the list and who's not on the list. I welcome that. Now is not the time because I'm getting ready for Lent, but sometime this summer we need to kind of go through that and see where we truly are and make those adjustments. Are there any other questions to uplift or anything that you want to discuss with those reports? Can I have a motion then to accept the reports as written? Luann? Jean seconds. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The next thing is our voting of officers and clerk. And the ballot you should have received from Brandon. If not, raise your hand. Brandon will come around and pass them out. Basically, this ballot is voting for your leadership board of Ashley and Jean to re-establish their 2-year term, and then Patty Porche to be your clerk for 1-year term. So she'll take over Dora's position after this meeting. I'm going to go ahead and let you vote on those. And I'm going to need somebody to come up and pick them up.
I'll take this side and somebody take the other side.
Thank you. Here comes my pen.
You can vote for it.
You can vote for all 3, write someone in, you know. And as they collect those and take them back to make sure they have been voted in, we're going to continue on with worship. Our scripture reading today comes from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 1 to 12. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to basically he's saying we need to learn 2 miracles. I need help and I'm sorry. So don't try to do it alone and apologize when you think you can do it all by yourself. Number 2, I'm really hurting, but I'm going to bounce back. This one, we are learning and understanding that when bad things happen to good people, they become better and stronger. You might have a point. Number 3, I'm going to remain cool, calm, and corrected, which means blessed are the meek is a poor translation because meek in the Bible means mighty, stable, and kind. Number 4, I really want to do the right thing. Meaning we're to learn how to adopt a go-for-it attitude toward our life and dreams. Number 5, I'm going to treat others the way I want them to treat me. Meaning we need to learn how to heal our good hidden wounds and allow people to turn us into a better person. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are hurt by certain situations. And when they meet someone that has Christian values or someone who really wants to help them out, it's hard because they've lost trust in people and they don't know how to allow us in. And so this one is really kind of a good one. I'm going to learn how to let others help me. Number 6, I've got to let the faith flow free through me. Meaning, we need to learn how to know God better and overcome doubt. Faith makes love a possibility, and love makes miracles happen. Number 7, I'm going to be a bridge builder, learning how to make peace with myself before becoming a peacemaker for others. Meaning, learn how to remain positive and pardon those who persecute you even when all else fails. That's really hard to do. And then number 8, no matter what happens, I choose to be happy in any way. Now, Jesus' Beatitudes are less about ensuring individual success and more about risking it for the sake of his vision and God's kingdom. They seem not to care about the opinion of others and personal success. Rather, it's our alignment with the values of risky faith, radical mercy, and an active search for justice for the entire community that matters to God. I agree, Schuler has a point. However, there are so many other authors out there that also steer us in this beatitude way of life, like The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. You've heard it. It was published in the late 90s. A book called The Secret and Your Best Life Now. And if you go into any Barnes & Noble or bookstore, you see the self-help section, and it is full, is it not? And my question is, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel when we have the Beatitudes right in front of us? Because all these books are doing is just self-help. They're just trying to give us a more positive outlook on life. I've not read The Purpose-Driven Life or Your Best Life, but I did read The Secret. It's a little shorter than the other ones, if you get where I'm going with that. But The Secret actually states that you can use The Secret in every aspect of your life, meaning you can use it with your money, with your health, with your relationships, happiness, and in any
I did ask her for.
She wondered if, she asked you all if you wanted to continue with Days for Girls, and she said you all kind of looked around.
She looked around and what should we answer, you know, it really, and then I got a phone call from the insurance company, so I really was in part of that discussion. But, what came out of that was, yes, definitely, they love this group. It's a warm group, we're doing good, and it makes us feel able to sure that God is blessing what's going on with these girls, be it internationally, US-wide, or here in Chicago. We average about 15 to 17 workers going
So, how this works between the two churches. And let me do a real short why. If we both did W-2s, A would have been under the whole. That's the first thing. But more importantly, when we do work comp, we would pay on half the salary and so would they. But if somebody got hurt here, they would only collect half of work comp, even though it was paid twice, because it would be paid only on by the church where the accident happened. So rather than deal with those inequalities, and the price is exactly the same. In fact, I will tell you it's a little more expensive to have two policies in one. Rather than dealing with that, we do one W-2, which we do the entire W-2, we do all of the work comp. On that W-2 is included housing allowance. That housing allowance is an adjustment to the reimbursement that comes back from Eden. So we submit every month a list to Eden that says we paid this in salary, this in mileage, this in benefits, whatever other expenses Dixie might have had. This is what we paid. Here's your bill. True, there should be some of this in housing, and there should be some of it in, or out of reimbursement. It would increase the reimbursement, it would add to the housing. However, because of the fluke that was done, because we actually did not understand the process quite a year ago when we set this up, so it wasn't set up quite right. I think we have it set up right going forward, so that we will track that housing and automatically put it on the W-2 and not have to adjust it year in. But that is why it is not budgeted that, or not paid that way, is because we didn't have the system all sorted out and done. Because we pay the expenses, then we subtract the amount for rent, even though it's not rent, that's our portion of the housing, and then we come down to their reimbursement. So we were calculating it right, we just weren't getting everything the right categories. So that's why. A long explanation of why, that's why. Any other questions?
And the path to retirement, Denny, is going to be in the pastor's health.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dental, vision, group life disability, even though they budgeted out
Probably,
as that.
probably next year. If you notice, last year we had like 4 categories under health insurance. Those all disappeared this year. We're going to do the same thing with retirement and health insurance. And the reason is we get one bill from conference that is not broken down.
National.
Or national, I'm sorry. That is not broken down. I have no way of knowing how much is what. I just get a bill.
So pastor's retirement is buried in the pastor's health.
Correct, correct. That's what's going on. And I didn't even realize it until you said it, that I missed going back, because normally I go back and I dig through what we budgeted and said, oh, okay, this is about how much it should have been, and I moved the number. And I forgot to do that this year. But I am going to, going forward, just start smushing them together, because the numbers are set by them, and as anything else changes, those change. You know, health insurance is what it is. If they raise it, we pay it. That's what it is. So, but that's why it's budgeted, but not because it all comes in one bill. That is not worked out. Any other questions? Seeing none, I would ask for somebody to make a motion to further the discussion. seconded it.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the vote.
All in favor of accepting the budget as proposed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. That's it. That's all I need for, unless there's
No,
other
I need
questions.
to go. I need to do this.
Oh, for the year.
Yeah.
All right. Approving of the financial reports. Well,
Oh, since we have 11 and 12 in here, we should vote.
no, you usually don't have those.
Okay.
So if you go to page 14,
So the report,
15.
yeah, the report you're used to looking at starts on page 14. You brought in $150,000. Now, where's the expense page? The expense page is on page 17. We spent 142. Which means even with all of the excess expenses that we had this year, fixing the back and all of that stuff, we came up $8,000 over in expenses. I tell the board quite often, it's a whole lot more fun when we aren't scraping to figure out how to pay a bill on a given month. Then I want you to look at page 15.
15, is it? 16?
15.
Oh, 15.
Sorry, 15. What this tells you is, we started off with this cash, this is what we spent, and this is what we borrowed in, and this is the cash left. So general fund actually has $69,000 in it. Memorial fund has $5,300. The organ fund has $367. Scholarship fund has $24,690, and that's the Olson Scholarship. Markham Scholarship is $27,000. And I want to explain to you these special funds. That is money we can spend anywhere. 3 things happened during the pandemic. First one was payroll protection program. It was a loan that we knew when we applied for it would be forgiven. We got one last year. No, I'm sorry. One for 20, one for 19, one for 20. So those are those. That's where that money came from. What you do not see here is in January, we got another $9,000. That was because we didn't lay our employees off. And because of that, they sent us another $9,000. We didn't pay for it, they sent us another $9,000. So, again, for the first time in a long time, they're sitting with funds. We could actually put that $29,000 in general, but as a board, we wanted to keep it separate so that we knew whether general fund was standing on its own. And then, this is money that if something big happens, when we started talking about out back here, maybe we would need that. Well, we didn't, so we didn't move it, but, that's why it's in a separate fund, is just so that we can keep track of it. And, like I said, we want to be able to see the general fund is making it on its own or not making it on its own, because that helps make better decisions. Questions? I already told you way more than you wanted to know.
Can I have a motion to accept the financial report for 2022? Joni and Brandon.
Okay.
always turn to you as servants, sharing the grace and love you have so generously given to us through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. You may be seated. Before I move on to the prayers of the people, is there any other business that you feel needs to be discussed this morning at your annual meeting, either old or new?
What's the situation with the Methodist Church?
Yep, so the Methodist Church joined us last week, or 2 weeks ago at our leadership meeting. They have sold their building. The building has been sold. They are looking for different avenues of either worshiping in a space, paying rent, possibly renting a building somewhere in the community. And the third option, which isn't a very high option for many of them, is to build a building. They have until the end of this year to get everything out and settled and whatever, and on January 1st of 2024, Quick Start takes over the building. So they're going to be looking for either places to store things, or when Mike Wertz came and talked to us, he's a trustee of the Methodist Church. He told us what they were looking to do, and we gave him a rental fee, though it could be negotiable. That's about $1,200 for rent a month. That goes towards heating, for electric, gas, janitor, snow, lawn. Is that it? I think those were the 5 categories that we based our rental agreement or rental on. He received a letter, and he was gonna check with like 3 or 4 other churches, so we don't know what their answer is yet. Who's the woman that rents out from us right now from there? I guess what? Penny Morse. She has a room downstairs that she rents for the Historical Society, and she came to talk to me, or we talked on the phone about having them continue to rent that room for their secretary and financial business, and I told them that was fine. So you may see more activity coming in the doors with that. But since she's already got a room, there's no reason to say no. But that's pretty much what I know. Their last official thing at the Methodist Church this year will be a wedding sometime in July. And so they're already starting to look at where to go and what to do. That answer your question? And we told them they are welcome to worship, whether in the fellowship hall or if we're not in the sanctuary, they can worship here. It's going to take time, and it's going to take movement. We can't rush their process. As I told Cal Thursday at coffee, I said, I just hope that they have time to grieve the loss of that building, because that's what really needs to happen. They really need to mourn that piece. And I hope we can be there for them, for that. Go ahead.
I know people keep asking why they don't just combine. I think you need to understand something financial. In their denomination, if they combine all of their endowments, scholarships, goes up to district or national or wherever it goes away. So I can't see them combining and just coming here anytime soon. And the only reason I'm saying that is we need to be cognizant of it's not something against us. It's not that they're saying, we don't want to worship with you. But you can understand